Firefighters told me it wasn't until they were able to bring two of those Blackhawks when they finally were able to contain the fire. Some legal issues popped up throughout the trial, delaying some testimony, and also because it involved 24 witnesses. We're in the middle of it all. A lot of debris out here. Out there you can see some signage that's missing. A billboard up there, you can see some of those mangled pieces of metal just hanging from all of that. One car rear-ended another, leading to this awful chain reaction here. The back of this Jeep is now all crunched up. Debris scattered all over the place. That rescue is all unfolding right now. Let's show you quickly those pictures right now. You can see a group of Tulsa firefighters bringing a driver out of that car. Take a look. This is the damage they're now dealing with this morning. We've learned 4 children were sleeping right on the other side of this wall after fire from this vacant house right next door jumped over to theirs. Some of these bees are putting in nectar while some on the other side are brand new bees. Martin thinks about 400,000 of his bees are now gone. The suspects came prepared and brought some tools to get rid of the lock that was right here on these doors. Opened them up, walked into the shed, ransacked through it. They tell me lightning struck the cross first, shredding pieces of the gold leafing, and then went through the dome. And then traveled directly into the chapel, piercing through the words death and stopping right at the head of Christ. Some of this twisted metal here, this is actually part of the roofing from this building that came crashing down during the tornado. It actually came off that roof when it all rolled through overnight, leaving a path of destruction all around this building.
I woke up screaming.
Banging, lightning flashing. It sounded like it was right outside our window.
Strange and frightening sounds woke up hotel guests at La Quinta Inn and Suites as a reported tornado lifted, twisted, and tossed all sorts of debris outside early Sunday morning.
The back window's all broken out.
It looked like the storm went eeny, meeny, miny, mo, just like every other car is busted.
An extreme amount of pressure came down the hallway of the hotel.
The storm left them without power. Some couldn't charge their phones to let their family know they survived. What did you see when you walked out of your room?
A dark hallway, a lot of people in the hallways.
We walked up the stairs and found every floor drenched in rainwater. The whole roof peeled off.
Just this little patch is in chaos, and the rest of the highway and the rest of the world is just carrying on.
Have you ever gone through anything this scary before?
I don't think so. I've never been through a tornado before. It's very scary.
Something is not right.
Really confused.
Some residents in Bixby say it's not the typical summer spike in water consumption.
We expect higher bills. Maybe you'll sprinkle a little bit more, but you don't have this huge surge in your consumption.
Suzanne Sendham is one of a little more than a dozen frustrated residents meeting with city officials about their water bill Wednesday. She says her bill jumped from, get this, $141 to $831. All within a month. She showed her camera some of her paperwork, hoping for answers.
It's shocking, and you just sort of feel that you've been taken advantage of. You know, I don't blame anyone per se.
Bixby City Councilor Richie Stewart told me the city's received several dozen complaints from all over the city. Fox 23 first told you about the problem earlier this month.
I'll be honest, I don't know. And that's what we're working on right now.
City Manager Jared Cottle tried to explain a number of possible explanations with this PowerPoint, but many residents still left feeling not impressed.
We stopped watering a yard. I mean, this is ridiculous.
And so what's being done right now to figure out what exactly is going on?
We're still working on it. Yes, sir.
I'm 33 years old and I've had breast cancer and a bilateral mastectomy and chemo, radiation, the whole works.
Jarena Edwards says she still can't find the words to describe the meaning behind this note.
The note says, I've lost my wife 5 years ago to cancer. I know how hard it can be going through this. Your meal is on me. Merry Christmas.
The family of 5 received that note instead of the check at this Bixby restaurant last week. They looked around, but the sender was already gone.
I cried a little bit. My husband cried a little bit.
The family tells me they were eating at one of their favorite restaurants after church, sitting right here. The restaurant says that note came from across the restaurant, way down over there, from one of those booths.
And there are so many people just like that note. You know, she died. He doesn't have her anymore.
This is their story.
They moved to Oklahoma from Kentucky back in January. 5 months later, doctors diagnosed Edwards with breast cancer. Since then, she says, several strangers have hosted fundraisers, joined her on walks, even offered to clean her home. If the man who wrote this note is watching, this is her message.
Thank you. Next time, don't eat alone. I mean, it would have been amazing to have heard his story and to have been able to eat with him so he wasn't alone at Christmas. I think that's the part that makes me sad, is that he was alone.
They'll have an extra chair for him Christmas Day in case he'd like to stop by. As for her battle, she'd like for him to know doctors are hopeful she beat cancer.
The driver of the SUV is the one who suffered the most serious injuries, and even though she's back at home, she's still recovering, unable to work and provide for her family. Another OU football star finds himself in trouble with police. This time it's quarterback Baker Mayfield. It reopened just in time for Mother's Day weekend. We found plenty of families there today. Many of them had no idea about the E. coli threat.